Rapunzel. This short story of Rapunzel teaches children to never give up on something they love. No matter how hard things get, they should be persistent in working towards their goal, and no one can stop them from succeeding in life. Children love stories as it helps them imagine wonderful worlds and visualize the characters in their minds. So, the next time your toddler has trouble sleeping, let them listen to this beautiful story of Rapunzel and watch them drift off into the world of dreams. Once upon a time, a couple lived in a faraway land. They lived a very lonely life, and their only desire was to have a baby. The house next to theirs had a beautiful garden with lots of fresh fruits, vegetables, herbs, and flowers. The garden belonged to a witch, and no one ever dared to enter that garden. One day, the woman saw a beautiful plant called a rampion, which was used to make salads in that garden. She then expressed her desire to make some salad for herself from that plant to her husband. Later that evening, her husband sneaked into the garden and got the rampions for his wife. "What are you doing in my garden?" he heard to his horror. It was the witch. She looked terrifyingly mean. "Excuse me," the man stuttered. "I wanted to pick some rampions for my wife. I know, of course, that I'm not supposed to, but my wife is pregnant and she craved them. I am terribly sorry." "Oh," exclaimed the witch and continued, "Well, in that case, I'll let you and your wife have all the rampions in my garden, but on one condition." The witch answered, "If it is like you tell me, then you can pick as many rampions as you like, on the condition that when the child is born, you will have to give it to me. The child will be well off, and I will be a good mother." The man reluctantly agreed to the witch's condition, hoping that the witch would not follow through. A few months later, the couple gave birth to a beautiful little girl with golden hair. That same night, the witch came to their place and took away their daughter. "Oh my, you are so beautiful. Let me name you Rapunzel," said the witch, and took Rapunzel to a tower with no doors and locked her up there. As the years went by, Rapunzel grew up into a most beautiful young girl with long blonde hair. Her hair grew so long that as she let down her hair from the tower, it reached the ground below. However, she was still stuck in the tower, all lonely and miserable. She often sang sad songs by the window to curb her loneliness. Every time the witch visited her, she said, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." And Rapunzel used to let down her hair, and the witch used to climb up the tower with the help of her hair. One day, a young prince was passing through the forest nearby when he heard Rapunzel's sweet voice singing a song. "What a beautiful voice!" exclaimed the prince. Curiously, he followed the voice and came across the tower in which Rapunzel was locked. Suddenly, he heard someone coming and hid behind a nearby tree. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," said the witch, and climbed up. Now the prince knew what to do. As soon as the evil witch left, the prince tried repeating the same things. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, said the prince, and Rapunzel let down her hair. The prince climbed upstairs and was stunned by Rapunzel's beauty. "Who are you?" asked Rapunzel. "Oh, my lady, you are the girl I have heard, and I have lost my heart to you." And so it happened that the prince visited her every evening when the witch wasn't there. After a few days, he asked her to marry him. "Oh, my prince, I would love to do that, but I am afraid that the witch won't let me go out of this tower, and if she comes to know about this, she will kill you," said Rapunzel sadly. "It's okay. I'll think of a way to let you out and come back again tomorrow," said the prince, and left. Meanwhile, the witch was watching all this. She immediately climbed up the tower and got angry at Rapunzel. "You are ungrateful. How could you even think of betraying me? You will have to pay for this," said the witch angrily. She grabbed the scissors from a table nearby and cut Rapunzel's long, beautiful hair and cast a spell on her, which left her in the middle of the desert. The next day, when the prince came, he found the witch waiting for him at the tower. She immediately cast a spell on the prince, which made him blind and left him also in a deserted forest. After wandering and living in misery for many years, the prince finally came to a desert where he heard a similar voice singing. "That voice!" exclaimed the prince. "I know that voice. That's my Rapunzel's voice. Where are you, my Rapunzel?" he said. He slowly approached the voice, and as soon as Rapunzel saw him, she said, "Oh, my prince, you finally found me. This is truly magical. I am so happy that I cannot stop crying." As she said this, she hugged the prince in happiness, and a few of her tears fell into the prince's eyes, and he got his eyesight back. "I can see again. Oh, my Rapunzel, you have saved us. Let's go back to our kingdom," said the prince. Both the prince and Rapunzel traveled to the kingdom near the forest and lived happily ever after.